a time of change. Setting the stage in 1801, the year is 1801, the United States is a fledgling nation. The Industrial Revolution is in its early stages. Most people live in rural areas. Farming is the dominant way of life. Cities are small and housing is limited. Owning a home is a distant dream for most. Homes are primarily simple structures. Wood and brick are the most common materials. In this era, land ownership is the primary measure of wealth. The concept of home ownership as we know it is in its infancy. Housing values are tied to the land itself, its proximity to water sources, and its suitability for agriculture. The seeds of change are sown as the Industrial Revolution begins to take hold. This will transform the housing landscape in the centuries to come. Cities on the rise. Housing in the 19th century. The 19th century witnesses a dramatic shift in the way people live. The Industrial Revolution rapidly gains momentum. Factories spring up in urban centres, attracting workers from rural areas. Cities swell in size, and with them, the demand for housing explodes. This surge in demand leads to the construction of new housing on an unprecedented scale. The rise of industrial cities gives birth to new types of housing. Row houses, tenements and apartment buildings become common features of the urban landscape. These structures maximize space to accommodate the influx of residents. Housing values are now influenced by proximity to factories and transportation networks. As cities grow, so too does the disparity between the wealthy and the working class. This is reflected in the stark contrast between the opulent homes of the elite and the cramped, often unsanitary conditions of working class housing. Boom and bust housing values in the 20th century. The 20th century ushers in an era of economic volatility, shaping housing markets in profound ways. The World Wars bring about periods of instability and uncertainty. Post-World War I, the United States experiences a surge in home ownership. This is fueled by economic prosperity and government programs designed to make home ownership more accessible. The post-World War II era witnesses a housing boom like never before. Returning soldiers and their families drive a surge in demand. The development of suburbs explodes, fueled by the rise of the automobile and government-backed mortgages. However, this period of growth is not without its challenges. Discriminatory lending practices and redlining policies exacerbate racial and economic inequalities in housing. A global market housing in recent decades. As the 20th century draws to a close, globalization and technological advancements usher in a new era for housing markets. The rise of the internet and digital technologies transforms how we search for, buy and sell homes. Information about properties becomes readily available at our fingertips. Globalization and the interconnectedness of financial markets mean that housing values are increasingly influenced by global events. The late 20th and early 21st centuries witness periods of rapid housing appreciation fueled by low interest rates and speculative investments. This culminates in the 2008 financial crisis, triggered in part by the collapse of the subprime mortgage market. The crisis has a devastating impact on housing values worldwide, leading to foreclosures, a credit crunch, and a global recession. In its aftermath, cities experience a resurgence, attracting young professionals and driving up urban housing costs. Section 5. Understanding the past, shaping the future. The importance of historical housing data. Examining the historical trajectory of housing values provides invaluable insights into the forces that shape our communities. By studying the past, we gain a deeper understanding of the interplay between economic cycles, government policies, and societal trends. This knowledge is essential for policymakers, investors, and individuals alike. Historical housing data reveals patterns of boom and bust, highlighting the cyclical nature of real estate markets. It allows us to assess the long-term impacts of government policies, such as mortgage interest tax deductions or affordable housing programs. By understanding how housing values have responded to past economic shocks, we can better prepare for future challenges. Section 6. Lessons from the past. Challenges for the future. Creating sustainable housing solutions. The journey of housing values from 1801 to 2024 offers valuable lessons for creating a more sustainable and equitable future. We must address the challenges of affordability, accessibility, and sustainability in housing. Rapid urbanization, climate change, and demographic shifts will continue to exert pressure on housing markets. Creating inclusive communities requires a multifaceted approach. We must prioritize affordable housing options, encourage mixed-income developments, and invest in sustainable building practices. Embracing innovative technologies, such as 3D printing and smart home technologies, can help us build more efficient and resilient homes. Section 7. The Evolving American Dream: Homeownership Through the Ages. The concept of homeownership has been intricately woven into the fabric of the American dream. From the early settlers claiming their homesteads to the post-war suburban boom, owning a home has signified stability, prosperity, and upward mobility. However, the changing economic landscape and evolving demographics have reshaped this dream for many. The rising cost of housing, particularly in urban centers, has made homeownership unattainable for many, particularly younger generations. This has led to a growing trend of renting, with a renewed focus on creating thriving, rental-friendly communities. The American dream is evolving, adapting to the realities of the 21st century. Section 8. From bricks and mortar to data and algorithms. Technology's impact on housing. Technology has revolutionized the way we interact with the world, and the housing market is no exception. From online real estate platforms to virtual home tours, technology has made the process of buying, selling, and renting homes more efficient and accessible than ever before. Data analytics and algorithms play an increasingly important role in determining housing values, predicting market trends, and even influencing mortgage lending decisions. While technology offers numerous benefits, it also presents challenges. The use of algorithms in housing raises concerns about bias and discrimination, potentially perpetuating existing inequalities. As technology continues to advance, it's crucial to ensure that it's used responsibly and ethically in the housing market. Section 9. Government's role policies, shaping the housing landscape. Governments have long played a significant role in shaping housing markets through policies and regulations. From zoning laws and building codes to tax incentives and subsidies, government interventions impact housing affordability, availability, and quality. Throughout history, government policies have aimed to address housing shortages, promote home ownership, and protect tenants' rights. However, government policies can also have unintended consequences. For example, well-intentioned policies designed to promote homeownership can sometimes contribute to housing bubbles. Balancing competing interests and creating effective housing policies that promote both economic growth and social equity remains an ongoing challenge. Section 10. A look ahead. Predicting the future of housing values. Predicting the future of housing values is a complex endeavor, influenced by a myriad of factors including economic conditions, interest rates, demographic trends, and government policies. However, by examining historical patterns and emerging trends, we can make educated guesses about the forces that will likely shape the housing market in the years to come. The rise of remote work, the increasing importance of sustainability, and the growing demand for affordable housing options are just a few of the factors that will likely shape the future of housing. As we move forward, it's essential to prioritize innovation, adaptability, and a commitment to creating inclusive and thriving communities for all.